What's up, guys? It is Ty with Crawl South Dakota RC, and today we are taking a closer look at my Element Gatekeeper. There was a couple comments on one of my shorts saying they wanted to set theirs up just like mine, so I figured I'd take a couple minutes to go over how this thing is set up and to show you guys it running so you can decide if you want to build a Gatekeeper like this. So let's jump right into the video. Now, if you have watched any of my shorts, you know I also have a 2.2 bomber. However, I really enjoy hiking with these things, and that thing is just so big to pack out when it dies or if it breaks. So I did a little research trying to find an alternative, and I found this, the Element Gatekeeper. Now, you guys know that I am a huge axial fan, so it did not stay stock for long. The really cool thing about Element and how they built these is they are very similar to an SCX 10 chassis. Shoot, the bottom here, the cross member, is even set up to take an axial 3 gear, and that's pretty much what I did. So let's go ahead and check out this thing and get a closer look. Now, shock wise, I am running ProLine's Pro Scalar shocks, I think they're called. It's a long name, but it's ProLine shocks. They have these nice dual rate setups, so they stay nice and planted. I really like how it's set up. I used a really light oil. I believe I've got like 25 weight in these shocks here. They are 90 to 95 millimeters long. I did not want anything super long, especially with the rear. Through the trailing arm setup, I wanted something that I could still get some droop from, but still also feel stable. Now, with this being a Gatekeeper, it has still got the trailing arm suspension in the rear. Now, you've probably seen by now, this is not the factory Element axles. These are SSD diamond housings. I really like them because the center section is plastic and is replaceable, but the tubes are aluminum. I've got Vanquish knuckles and C-hubs on here just because I really like the look of the Vanquish knuckles on these. It gives them kind of a cool scale look like you would see on an actual Ultra 4 car. And there's a look at that rear axle. Like I said, aluminum tubes, aluminum mounts, and a plastic center section. So drivetrain wise, besides those SSD axles, we have gotten SSD high ratio transmission hiding in there. I wanted a little bit more top speed rather than just super slow crawling. Again, this thing is not set up to be a crawler. I set it up to be like an Ultra 4 truck. So while that Element transmission was really cool with the overdrive and everything, it just was not going to fit what I was trying to do. I also have a Holmes Hobbies Sport Crawlmaster Sport 12 turn. It's their 5-pole and a 550 can size motor, a 1080 ESC, just an Amazon 45 kg servo, and a 3S LiPo. Other than those modifications there, I've just got some cheap Amazon wheels, the stock tires. I've got a 3D printed tire mount. Overall, the rest of it is bone stock, and it is a ton of fun. So, enough talking about the rig itself. Let's go ahead and run it. Now, where I'm running today is one of the mini agate beds along the Buffalo Gap National Grasslands in the Black Hills Badlands area. This is a really cool prairie area with tons of loose, medium-sized rock. It's fun for trail trucks, but for this guy in particular, a little Ultra 4 build, it is a ton of fun here. Now, because of how this area is made up with all the loose rock and the almost dusty-like sand that makes up this area, you get some really cool ravines just like this one. And who knows what you'll find out here. If you come out here, make sure to take your time, kind of pick over some of the rocks here. This area is famous for Fairburn agates, and you never know what you'll find hiding on the rocks you're crawling over. Well, got to do ourselves a little bit of a trail fix. I smoked a rock a little too hard, and I ended up pulling the threads out of our drag link to the tie rod end on the axle. So I'm going to go ahead, thread that back on, and hopefully it holds for the rest of the day. Maybe I'll bump it out a little bit more and try and get some more engagement too. There we go. Let's clean up and get back on the trail. So we have found ourselves a cool little rock climb. I kind of see a line I want to try right through here, so we're gonna give it a shot. But this area right through here, in a scale sense of an RC car, kind of reminds me of Johnson Valley. So it's a lot of fun to run these like pre-runner and Ultra 4 style rigs. But yeah, I kind of see a line that I want to try and take. I want to kind of come up right through here and come up through there, kind of cut in, bounce around in there, and get to the top. So let's see if we can do that. Big old undercut. We got that to climb. I want to get on this and cut through here. There we go. Nice. That was a lot easier than I thought it would be. We got to get rear end. There we go. There we go. Nice work. Not great, but like I said, guys, if you come out here, put your head on a swivel, because you don't know what you'll find. And I definitely found a Fairburn, and I found something else, so I'm really happy about that. We are gonna put these away so I don't lose them. Nice. I don't know what else I just found. Not a Fairburn, but still really cool. I like rocks, man. I like driving over them. I like hiking over them. I like looking at them. I like picking them up. I like learning about them. So now that you guys have had the chance to see this thing run, there is a couple things I'd like to change. One, I'd really like to offset the wheels a little bit more to get a little bit wider stance. While this thing is a blast to drive, kinda high speed, again, it's not a UDR or anything, it's a 3-gear rock crawler and a 1/10 scale. I'd like to get a little bit more stability out of some wider wheels, just a wider offset, make that stance a little wider, so it'll get around better at higher speeds. The other thing I'd like to change, while this 12 turn that's in here is working really well, I kind of want to try and squeeze a little bit more speed out of it. Now, again, it's a 12 turn with a 3-gear axial high ratio SSD transmission. So I can't really ask for much. It already does a pretty good job. I'm running 3S, so maybe I'll change the gearing, or I'll just find one of those old school Novak systems. I absolutely love those. I have it in my I-beam rig. I might just toss that in there. They're nice and smooth and still plenty fast. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to go clean this thing off. I'll catch you guys in the next adventure.